Yo, yo, yo. Be right there. Oh, goodness. We be playing some classic today. Be playing some classic today. Not much to do. Just kind of like aimless on retail and stuff right now. I did do some heroic Dementius attempting yesterday. I did some on stream actually. And then I also did some, I did another, some more attempts as well. And did not go great. I mean, it wasn't a terrible experience either, but definitely could have been better. So I ended up making a video kind of about that. It's getting a little bit of attraction. Basically, a video about who are the raids made for kind of thing. Because I don't know, it seems really hard for like the average player, and the goal wasn't to say that they need to make the raids easier. It was more to say um, like are you hitting the target audience kind of thing, like is this what you're going for? Because it might be, because they might have X amount of players get AOTC, and that's the amount that they want to get AOTC, and it's like right in line with everything, all their metrics. So it could just be fine. Like that's an option too. But it seems like there's some people who are trying to get AOTC and trying to raid that aren't really having any success. So I was like, who is this for, really? And kind of broke it down, talked about mythic rating a little bit too, from my experience there. Basically, my conclusion personally is what I would like to see is I would like to see them come up with just scale everything down from the top to the bottom. So scale mythic down a little bit, scale heroic down a little bit. Not just in difficulty though, but like design difficulty. So like the types of mechanics, the type of mechanic overlaps. Like, do we need to do a DPS check, a healing check? Like, what are we going to do here to, um, you know, make this fight difficult, but also not impossible? And impossible is a strong word, right? Obviously, it's possible. And I personally don't think Heroic Dementius is even that hard. I think it's a decent fight. I think phase one, there's just a lot going on. We've seen that in other fights as well. And I kind of compared it because I've killed Salazar a couple times. I killed him very early in the patch in a pug, and it was like very hard to do that. But then I killed him like yesterday or the day before in a pug, and it was extremely easy because gear outgrows Salazar. But gear doesn't really outgrow Dementius, at least phase one of Dementius. It does kind of outgrow phase two. You still have to do the movement, of course, and it removes the enrage timer of phase three. But phase one, it doesn't really change what's hard with that phase one. So I think that's kind of the issue. I think it's a design issue, and so some people will probably get offended or whatever, like because they don't want their raid to be super easy. Neither do I, by the way. And they're like, I don't want it to be so easy. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, let's design it a little bit more forgiving. Design it in a way like Salazar, where the fight gets a little bit easier the longer you're doing it, kind of thing. like the more gear you have, or the more raid buff you have, like from the raid buff, like more damage, the more healing you have, the more health you have, it just gets easier. I think that's like a more healthy way to look at it personally. But oh, let me see. I have my headphones on. I didn't know if the sound was working. Should be good. Here, I also wanted to, before we start playing here, I wanted to talk a little bit about this as well. Let me pop this over here. I want to talk a little bit about this as well. So this is a thing that's going on mostly in the classic community, but it's should the TBC be released in pre-nerf or post-nerf state? I do want to see if they break down in the article what exactly that's going to be entailing or not. This should be pre-nerf and post-nerf. Are they going to break down the stuff a little bit, or is it going to be? It's mostly like not opinion, but it's mostly like negatives of pre-nerfs. Okay, so it's just kind of like an opinion piece. So essentially, they were planning on releasing the raid in a nerf state because some of the fights, especially for classic players, but just in general, if you don't know the fight, some of them are a little bit rough. It's mostly because they're not intuitive more than the fact that they're actually super hard or anything like that. I remember back when BC Classic came out in whatever it would have been, 2018 or whatever. I do remember like Asmongold having a raid and it wiping like endlessly. On like was it Magtheridon's Lair? I can't remember. It might have been all of them, but it like took forever because it was so hard. But I don't know if it came out pre-nerf or post-nerf then either. But basically, if you don't know the mechanics, unlike classic, things will kill you. So like vanilla, things will kill you. And then when they nerfed it more back to like a classic feel, where if everyone just stays alive, even if everyone just kind of knows what they're doing, then you kind of can one-shot most things. You can skip mechanics and never even have to deal with them to begin with. Kind of made a lot of the fights a joke. But again, I would also argue a lot of the fights, especially Karazhan, was already a joke. So I do know like Esfand, I follow Esfand a little bit, and he was very incensed by these changes or whatever, this idea of the post nerf raids coming out. But I will say, like, I think he's overstretching a little bit about how difficult they were before, and I don't know. I just don't think. I think Karazhan was always easy. So like one thing I can say for sure for me is I was not in like a good guild or anything back then by any means. Just a very like average guild and very average casual players, and we killed Karazhan before it was nerfed, and it was you know it took us a little bit, of course. We didn't like one shot it or anything. We were just very casual players, but I just don't think it's that big of a deal personally. I don't know. I do see both sides of it, the idea of like whatever, but then the way it comes off to me as a retail player is that it's like it's almost like how you hear Mythic Raiders sometimes on retail be like, oh, the raids need to be even harder. You're not even a real raider if you don't kill the stuff before a nerf and stuff like that. It kind of comes off that way, which I don't think is like a good place to come off. But I do understand it too. Like it is really easy, but I just would argue that it was easy anyways. If anything, they need to like buff them or something, but then that would create all kinds of other controversy if they made the raids harder, because the people who want to play TBC Classic want to relive TBC Classic. They don't want to play TBC Plus, where the raids are harder, or it's the same raids but the raids are harder. That's not what people are looking for. Most of the thing I've found covering this game and playing this game is, while I like hard things, I have found that probably the majority of the fan base, of the player base, just wants to have fun, which is cool, by the way, and just wants to like do stuff, like get it done. Um, they want it to be a little rewarding, of course. Like they're very picky because they don't want it to be so easy that they literally don't get to press their buttons or something like that. They don't want every fight in retail to like last 1 minute or something. So it is a fine line that those players want to have walked, which is understandable. But I don't know. I just feel like uh, I feel like I don't know what the answer is. I personally think like so let's say it is a big controversy, let's say it is like 50-50 on the player base of the TBC Classic. Like I don't know, why not just release it without the nerfs and then just put the nerfs in a little bit quicker. So let everyone else prog through it. I don't know, maybe wait till X number of guilds kill it, whatever, because obviously the top guilds are going to kill it day one, right? They're going to kill it the first hour it's out, like Karazhan and stuff, but maybe let other people like let a certain amount of guilds kill it and then nerf it or something like that. Similar to how they do on retail with like Hall of Fame and stuff. A lot of times they'll wait for the Hall of Fame to fill up before they fully nerf something. So that's an option at least. But I don't know what the correct answer is. But I do think that I do think it's an interesting topic, and I think it kind of tails into what I was talking about with retail, because retail is having kind of the same problems where the raids are too hard for people, but other people don't want the raids to be easier, and it's a constant thing. I would hate to be a dev at Blizzard trying to balance this and try to make more people happy. I do generally myself think that you should kind of lean towards having the most people have fun possible, right? It's kind of the idea of, well, let's just make a really good game, right? And then everything else will fall into place from there. If we need to monetize from there, we monetize from that point. Like we first make a really good game. And sometimes I worry, just deep down internally with no knowledge, that some of the want to keep the raid so hard and stuff is because I think a lot of the top end players do spend a lot of money. Like they switch races a lot to get the best race. They switch, they buy gold tokens to buy all their consumables. Like they do, there are a lot of big spenders. Like there's casual big spenders that spend for completionism and stuff like that. And then there's like these sweaty spenders as well. And so I wonder if like that plays into it. I hope not, but I could see that. The type of players that I'm talking about are not historically big spenders or people who are going to do anything other than their sub fee, which you shouldn't have to, by the way, which I don't really. I have like once ever. And so but besides your sub fee, you shouldn't really have to do anything else. But there are players that are doing other things. And I just wonder if that feeds into it. I would hope not. And I don't necessarily think it is, but it's easy to kind of like get that wrapped up in your head that could be the case. So I just thought it was interesting because it tied directly into what I was feeling on retail with the idea of like, who are these raids for? It's like, well, who are these raids for? I'm saying it in a more inquisitive tone for TBC Classic. Like, who is it for? Is it for the 40-year-old dad who just wants to go in and kill it while he drinks a beer with his buddies again, like he did, 16 years ago or whatever? Or is it for somebody who like actually wants to, have a challenge? Maybe it's their first time doing it and they wanted to feel the real experience. There's all kinds of ways to look at it. But it's like, who are you actually aiming this for? Who are you making this for? Etc. So I do think that's a little bit interesting. And yeah, I wanted to talk about that a bit. So move this back here. All right. There's one more thing I'm going to look at. I might get started playing a little bit first before I look at that, but I wanted to watch a Max clip from his stream. The title of it seems interesting, at least. I don't know if it'll actually be interesting, but the title seems interesting. So I think we'll start off a little bit though. I'm level 44 on my mage. I play a little bit off stream, which I know is like faux pas for streamers to do, but it's not like I started this character on stream or anything. I do think I'm going to start another character though, assuming I get this to 60 or if I die, and I'll like kind of just play that character on stream or something like that, as like even if I don't play it for days or something, I'll kind of do like a separate one where it's kind of always on stream. But I did get to level 44 last night, just did a couple quests, an STV to get to 44. Trying to get to 60. That's my goal. Just trying to get to level 60. We have some quests we can do here. We also can do like the bones. We can do plasma. And we need to go down here and get the reagents. Still have no helmet at level 44. We have the white one, but no like helmet that gives stats, I should say. We actually didn't go, and I did go full stream yesterday. We actually didn't go to the Christmas lights last night. We're gonna go tonight instead because last night we would have had to walk through, and it was a little bit cold and windy. But tonight we can drive through. So we're gonna go tonight actually. So that should be fun. Get some bones. Not very good. There's not very good necklaces unless you get one from a dungeon. And I've been very unlucky with dungeon loot. I always am historically pretty unlucky with dungeon loot. I don't got good rolls. I need to do... Oh, Kodo Roundup I never did. It's gray now. It's probably pointless to do. I forget what I need to do for Ghost of Plasmic Roundup. We'll see. I don't know if we'll do that one or not. We'll definitely do the Kodo Bones. That one's really easy. We'll do this, and then we might just try to solo Konratha. I think we can do that even at 44, because I just got a new Frostbolt and a new Blizzard spell at 44, so I'm kind of like a little bit more powerful than I normally would be. I normally solo it. It's definitely hard. You have to like use your mana stuff, but I think I can probably do it. I think I normally solo like 45, 46, but I think we'll give it a shot anyways. Give it a little shot. We can also do the escort here, get me out of here. So we got all kinds of stuff to do in Desolace. Probably not enough to get us too far into our level. Oh, we also actually want to do Uldaman, so we should queue for that. We really need to do an Uldaman run. Ooh. Wonder if they would take 49, 48. This would be a really good group to join. There we go. Well, it looks like we're actually going to head back and go to Uldaman instead. I did buy portals, so I can do like a pre-portal on the last boss or something. This is a pretty high level group though. This is what we got. 49 Druid. Can't remember if was he the healer? He's not the tank, I don't think. Done some of the ones outside. Yes. Both. I did power stones and like urns or something. I also yeah, if it's shareable, I sure will. I also have mage quest to kill the obsidian at the back door or whatever. I think that's it. Go to Lockmodon. Where's everyone else at? Oh, they're already like there. We got a 48 lock. We got 49 druid, and we got 44 pal. It's a little low. I don't know who's the tank. If it's the paladin or the druid. I didn't look. But this is a scary dungeon. I definitely could die in here for sure. This is a could be the new character route or something if we die in here. But I really want to get it done. There's just so many quests in here, and it's so much XP if you don't run it, like that you lose. It's like you either run Uldaman or you just start doing quests that are like too high for your level. It's not great. Is this the guy I'm supposed to share with? I can't share that one. Share? Gotta wait for him to get back, I guess. Oh, he accepted? I'll try to share that one. Reclaim treasures. Okay. I got you, Anton. What's up, Mario? How you doing today, man? Gonna do some remix? Nice. I keep checking remix, make sure no one's coming for my number one. There's a couple European people who keep like slowly going up. There's somebody who has like something done in every key, which worries me. A European player, because I think those two China players kind of given up a little bit. But there's a European guy he's got like 100 in every key, so he's definitely working on it. At the end of the day, I don't care that much. But if it's gonna be close, like if I only have to do a couple things to stay in front, then I'll do it. No, you cannot, because I am sadly self-found and poor and no mount. Who's the healer? I wonder who the healer is. It's got to be the Druid, I guess. Our quest together, please. I mean, sure. Just for my clarity, who is the tank and who is the healer? So Abatrax is the tank and Silva Plata is the healer. Or Silva, no, he's the healer. So he does need Arcane Intellect. Got you, bud. So everybody but the warrior needs it, which is annoying. I hate joining groups where I have to intellect everybody. Between Salvation and my Blizzard, my Frost threat reduction shouldn't be too much of an issue in here. I do need fungus caps. Do you think Blizzard will incorporate heroic world questing for Midnight in the future? Dude, that would actually be cool. I mean, they're kind of doing that with that prey system, because you can choose your world tier of prey. So they are kind of doing that. But I think it would be cool to have it for everything. That would be really neat. Yeah, the prey system's like this thing where you choose your target or whatever, then a zone is like one zone is like heroic world tier. And when you're in that zone, you'll get like attacked by hard enemies and all the normal mobs are hard too. I haven't played with it yet. Maybe I should actually do that and do like a video on that on the beta. Because it's not like my normal stuff, but like tons of people care about that. Like open world content. Yeah, I kind of forgot about it too. It gets lost. It's not my normal thing, you know? Not seeing any of these mushroom things. I think I remember what they look like. I think they look like little white mushrooms. this guy. There's one. They're big white mushrooms. One down here, I guess. Just running in. Let me grab this mushroom. Oh, he's getting the mushroom. Crap. We're just gonna go in. Hopefully the shrooms are inside too. Oh, he got 3 from that, so you can get more than 1 per node. Okay. I think I could probably solo the quest, but... Oh, we got one coming. Anyone have mistletoes? No. Even a green helmet would be great in here. Arcane intellect for my pet. Oh my gosh. You're insane, man. Yeah, you're whispering the wrong guy, buddy. Drink in here. I keep my eye out for those mushrooms. Tank is not listening to anybody. Everyone in this group's like keeps asking for buffs and nobody's listening. It's funny. Mushroom up there. If he doesn't see it, he does see it. And these people complain a lot about their buffs. That's classic for you. Not sure what we're doing here. Oh, they're taking turns hitting the mining node. It's fine.
How are you? Be good. Safe travels.
Oh shit. Oh, he's... I just looted that medallion, so I don't think anyone else was self-found. So they have to trade it to me. We pull here. Get some mana. Getting his mushrooms. Oh, I didn't even know we had 3 there. Just single targeting. First step. Oh, 2 more mobs. Okay. Good. Oh, got another one here too. All right, let's see how this goes. Doesn't really get scary until you're like halfway through the instance. This is so cool the first time you ever do this back in vanilla.
Steal the secrets of the makers.
Warrior's getting smashed somehow. Oh, he has threat. All right. Male bracers with intellect. Well, I don't care about that. I don't think I have to do anything in here. Oh, we had to explore the hidden chamber. Should really mark that on the questy thing. I would have totally forgotten it. Man, that stuff's so low level. Maybe you didn't see the mushrooms. Haha, I'm gonna go steal the mushrooms. Oh, it gives you a disease. Wonderful. I'm gonna get mana. I'm gonna rebuff, I think. Paladin Warlock. This Paladin has no threat, man. Do you need to kill this?
I need to get closer. I can't pass that thing.
What are you doing here? Looking around, I guess. Taking in some sights. We're gonna pull these mobs. Might as well. He has Righteous Fury on. I don't know why he's so bad with threat. Probably just a level where Paladin struggles. 'Cause I know it's pretty good early, but maybe eventually starts to struggle here. good. I would take that as a helmet. Would love to see a helmet here. Does he have a helmet?
That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Yeah. Specialty. AoE everything down. Oh, that's me to loot these. Dude's name here is Borschless. Borschless? Am I not missing the? Am I missing the joke on that one? Oh, bored shitless. Okay, maybe that's what it means. Yeah, that is funny. That's a good way to get around the filter or whatever. Wait, why am I getting hit? Oh crap. Okay, we have some stuff here. It's okay. We'll put that up. Get off the healer.
I need more mana.
A little scary, but not too bad. Try rebuff druid stuff. Nope. No irons. Three bowls in here. Man, counterspell must do a lot of threat. Wipe on Soul Hunter, huh? That's interesting. What's going on?
My daughters are speared. Slay them.
Oh, this warrior's taking a lot of damage. We're going slow, but we're going steady here. Everything's pretty good. I think Stoutarm's treasure's outside. Yeah. 38 attack power. That's pretty good. Not sure what this tank is ever doing, but okay. Definitely doesn't give me confidence, but I don't think it's really gonna matter. Healer's really strong. I'll do big damage. The Warlock's doing damage. The Warrior's doing damage. Like, shouldn't really matter. Steal these mushrooms. Dang it, only one. Yeah. It's so hard to get mana as a mage on Classic because you have so much mana and your water doesn't give you enough. And so you're like always behind on mana. And then on retail, mana doesn't matter at all. I'd like a happy medium. I might have enough. If we survive this, I might be able to get my mount. That'd be exciting. I have a mage whispering me, asking me questions. Like, I'm not an expert mage in Classic by any means, but I'm trying to answer him for him. Gosh, I'll interrupt him. Always use the mana gem to help your team. Have you seen my mana? What do you expect me to do? I think this is boss. Yeah, let me get mana. I think from outside by the way, Anton. Go. Here he goes. Good LOS. Job, dude. Absorb those fireballs. Put on fire ward. Big damn. The good old oilskin leggings. Back here. There's a mining node. No mushrooms. Do a rebuff here. I'm gonna tell this guy too. As mage, just know your main job is on last boss to AoE the ads. The little that come out. Warlock. Gotta do Paladin and Druid. Paladin. You gotta get one for the Druid. Those are some big boys. I want to kite that out.
I don't have a target.
I feel like I'm missing all the quests here. That's on the outside. Fungus caps. We can't do silver bars. Okay. I have no idea where this stuff is. Not gonna lie. We want to go this way. Crap. We skipped the. We skipped a boss in the middle. I don't know if on purpose or not. So back and kill this thing. Need to go this way. This boss is annoying. Just don't. Luckily, we cleared the back door, so it's actually kind of easy to run out of here if you have the back door clear. Okay, let's try to hit these guys around the corner, maybe. Oh no, okay. Wait, we got a big pull here. It's okay. We're fine. Silenced. Let's call the little guys. Go silenced. Alright, I'm gonna ice block. Okay. That was the boss as well. And we got plate. I think there might be a quest item in here though that we need to get. Sure. I don't know if there's anything we need in here. Let's see anything we need in that room. I pulled help. Oh no. Oh no. Do I go back and save this guy? Wait, where is he? Come back. I'm coming, man. Oh god. He's like, come back, please. It was just one thing. I thought he pulled the whole group. I'm like, he might be dead. But it was just one guy. It's not a big deal. I should have just sat there and been like, have you seen my mana? Oh, it's a box behind the guy I had to loot, I think. I'm gonna have to go explore in here. Hopefully there's no repops. Need to add more mushroom spawns in here. Why would you pull him out of my blizzard? And pull that into us. Okay, at least it's not on me. But you stunned us. This warlock's not smart. Just full on single targeting the big guy. This could be a death in here, I'm not gonna lie. Don't do that yet. Don't do that yet. We gotta kill this over here. I don't want to stand in the middle here. I might get one shot by these things. These things come out and they hit hard. We want the bigger boys to press that. Go click it, guys. Let's have the two plate and the leather click it. Yeah, we want to stay over here. We don't want to get one shot. Alright, we go. Get him. Questioning the Druid's positioning to where he cannot reach us, but it's interesting, I guess. Things hit hard. Okay, good. He's using his pet to off tank a little bit. That's good. Ooh, got a resistor. Yeah. Please don't pull again. It's alright. Getting resisted now. It's not good. Alright. A long fight. I'm out of mana. We only got one boss left. So I think I need to go back and loot a chest for this. I don't know where this is at. It might be outside. An ancient chest. That one's outside. I need just bars for that. I need to get more mushrooms, and then I think that one's outside as well, actually. So I need to do stuff outside, but I don't know if I can get some of those by myself because there's multiple poles that you have to do. Multiple enemies. Let's go, guys. We got this. See? Oh, we got a double. Right back to the tank. Should be good. Honestly, this hat's probably better than mine. 41 armor versus 34. What's it look like? Yeah, let's wear this. Wear explorer's hat here. Everybody's buffs are off. This group went from caring a lot about buffs to not caring about buffs. Forest Bacon Sizzler, why would you do that? You are dumb. Now I'm stunned because you're dumb. Part of me hopes he dies, but part of me really doesn't because I want to finish this. But he's been just pulling threat and pulling mobs the whole time. And this group is... The tank's not very good, and it should be evident. And so you shouldn't be making it worse for him. They got one more pull than boss, and I need to go back and try to find quest items that I might have missed. I think it's just one. I think I missed a chest behind one of the Dark Iron guys. Or something. Keep going back then.
I can't pass that thing.
Alright, I'm going to explain the best way I know how to do this. When the little ads come out, go to tank so he can pick them up. Then we blow them up AoE down. Wait, let's make sure. Silva, do you understand? We are going to run up after it completes. I don't want him to just die. As this is done, we run. Ooh, subscriber, thank you. JAC, Jack, maybe. No tag. I don't know why people do this. Let's just kill it. Oh, somebody hit it. Run. Run. One. Make a portal to Ironforge right here. In case we need to use it. There's the little guy. He's going over towards my portal. Smart.
Awake, ye servants! Defend the discs!
Yeah, there you go. Kill that thing, warrior. We need to get some damage on the boss. Oh, Bacon Sizzler took aggro. He's probably gonna die. My portal's gone, so that was not a good time to keep aggro there, Sizzle. I'm gonna try to evocate.
Brothers, for the makers!
Sizzle. You gotta stop doing damage to it, dude. It's Warlock tanking it. That's crazy. It's about dead. Oh no. Could be it. Okay, we got it. Whew, 13 stamina finger. I was about to ninja that bag, but I figured I wouldn't. Alright, I'm gonna do this quest. Okay. Complete that. Take the miniature version of the disc to Ironforge. Okay. So that's Ironforge. That's Tabitha. Mushrooms, I'm just gonna have to get myself. This treasure's outside. Silver bars I have to somehow get, so found. But I think one of these is in here. Deep Shadow. I think that's the Dark Iron Dwarf we killed. I'm gonna go see if I can find that before I leave.
It's too far away.
Too far away. Hopefully there's no respawns. Where do I need to go? I can't look at the map. Be the Dark Iron guy. Just need to keep my head on the swivel for respawns. In here, maybe? Might be the other one. Dig 3. Let me look it up. Amulet of Secrets, Wellhead. Comments. He's in the south of Oldman Cave. He's near the Trogs. He's the dwarf with a sword. There's the choice to go in the room with the Trogs or the room with the dwarves. Just stand there. He'll show up and come from the room with the dwarves. Oh, he's outside. Okay. Never mind. That's outside. That's outside. That's This is inside and outside. That's outside. Okay. Let's go to Ironforge. Yeah, do stuff outside. So all we have to turn in is Platinum Disc and Mage and Hidden Chamber. Dun, 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 dun.
Well met. See you soon.
Take a reward voucher. We get a nice bag. That'll be good.
Great to meet you. Keep your feet on the ground.
Oh yeah, we might be able to get our mount. Forgot. think we'll be able to get it. I'm not revered though, so
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
all right. $162 is good. 111 is good. We're gonna be close. Probably stuff I could sell, like my bandages or something, if I really have to. Turn this in.
Welcome. Off with ya.
I choose the mana potions.
Watch your back.
And we have 10, 10, 10, 10. So let's put it on for this one maybe. We could vendor leather too if we have to. Alright, let's go check. I think we're probably a little short, but oh well. We'll at least get the training. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Good date.
Oh, 72. What's the training?
Can I help you?
18. Oh, we can get it. Alright. Do we want red, blue, unpainted, or green? I don't think you can look at it in classic. Do we go with blue because we're a frost mage? Maybe? Red, blue, green, or unpainted. Oh, they're right here, maybe. Okay.
You have a great
Red. I like green. Oh yeah, I think we go with blue. Frost mage blue.
eye, you're a tall one.
There we go. Out of gold again, but luckily we don't have to train spells for a while. And I'll put that in here. On the bar. There, now we can get around a little faster. We need to go to Tabitha's and turn this one in. So do that. And I'm going to watch that video I wanted to watch earlier that was said I would get to. See what it's all about. For if it's good or if I'm getting clickbaited here. Dun, 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 dun. Go to Thermore. Do, 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. Do I even get anything good for this? Power and Uldaman. Power and Uldaman. Wowhead. Do I get anything? Turns into Mana Surges. I have to kill Mana Surges within the time limit. And that unlocks another thing. So don't AoE them basically. Okay. Just take it slow. Fair enough. Let's do Mana Surges. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, this is the guy I just did Ultimate with. Flash Wave. So apparently I'm supposed to turn this quest in, grab the new one. She's going to summon a portal. I need to get far away from it. And then pull these things one at a time. I remember doing this quest before. I think. But if I wouldn't have looked it up, so I probably would have just AoE'd it down. But maybe that's not smart. Maybe I got lucky. Actually, I would have been Frost when I did that. Oh, maybe I never ran Uldaman. That's what it is. So I never did it. I never ran Uldaman on that character. That's why I don't remember it. I could not find a group. I'll do it. This is the first time I've come back here where I don't have to worry about dying to the wildlife. That's a big old gator. Fill 12 mana surges. Okay. We only have 10 minutes to do this from what I read. Southwest. Okay, there's the portal. Alright, and supposedly you can pull one at a time. Okay, there's one. Do I have two on me? Okay. Did two in a minute, so it would take us only 6 minutes in theory. They definitely put mage armor on. it's a resistor. Okay. Five in 2 minutes is pretty good. That same druid again. Oh, he gave me Innervate. Well, that's really nice. That makes it super easy.
I can't cast that yet.
No, don't go in, don't go in.
That's still recharging.
It's done, man. I know you probably just want to help, but...
Greetings. Be careful. Light bless you. Farewell.
I want the staff. 22 plus 8 intellect. I have 8, 14 plus 9. So this is 30. This is 9, 17, 23. This is 16, and it has effect. 16 plus 24. This is technically better. And it has a little effect on it.
Be careful.
I like... We grab this to have it. There's another mana option here. Okay. Now we need to... Do we want to go back to Desolace, basically? We do need to do the outside stuff in Uldaman. Let's fly to Desolace and I'll watch that video. There's a Max video I wanted to watch a clip. And then I'm probably going to go see if about dinner. I want to kind of eat before stream's over because we're going to go do those Christmas lights. Alright, back on. For Legion Remix, at what point are you usefully haste cap? The rest goes into Mastery Prob. So actually, it's ironic. So what happens is eventually, especially if you're using Templar Slash, you're gonna hit damage cap on your abilities, and so Mastery won't do a whole lot. So I would say basically this is why I tell people without all these caveats. Basically, just go for like 100% of each thing. You can kind of do like 100% haste, 100% crit, 100% mastery. Just kind of go for that. And that'll be like your best setup. You could technically go like 80% haste and then the rest of mastery, but it really won't matter as long as if you're using the Templar slash method. And even if you're not, it won't matter much. It just might matter slightly more. Before I was using Templar slash, I was doing like 80 something, 120 mastery. But the 100 is probably better. Yeah, so Templar slash, it's what's going to happen is, and I doubt they're going to fix this. The second part of Templar strikes, the slash, it puts a dot on your enemy, and it's the damage based off the damage that your attack does. It does a percent, right? But then that gets rebuffed by your versatility, so it's like getting double buffed by versatility. And so if you're max versatility and you have like all your cooldowns running, you'll actually tick the enemy for damage cap. And you just always want to basically just spam your Templar strikes.
Getting some bacon are done.
Okay, thank you. Well, that answers that question. I'll grab my food here after I watch this video. Or maybe we watch the video while we eat, I don't know. That's probably a better plan. So let's get on flight path. I'll go grab my food. And then we'll also watch that video.
What can I do?
Let's go back to Desolace. I'll be right back. Not even there yet. Goodness. All right. Let's let us pause that. And let's pull up this. Might be an ad doing this, yeah. Put on the headphones real quick.
Zoned by the Blood DK Discord because their theory crafting was just wrong. I know nothing.
So this video is called "The Problem with Class Discords in World of Warcraft," and the thumbnail says how toxic they are. So I overall expect to agree with this wholeheartedly. That's why I kind of stay out of the Ret Discord for the most part. I do occasionally wander in there. And I had a productive conversation last time I was in there, at least, kind of defending Herald of the Sun a little bit. But yeah, let's see what Max has to say about class discords.
Think about that situation, but I choose to fully believe it because me and Ben both had run-ins with like tank theory crafters back when we were tanking for the race for many years, and every single time it was the most ridiculous arguments being made, and I would fully not trust anyone in a tank theory crafting role for any reason. I don't know if it's still the same guys though, so I apologize if I'm slandering people who are doing the right thing, but I know tanking is a role that is typically hard to theory craft. I think it takes a lot more practical experience in general, and I know that the space used to be littered with people that didn't have that practical experience and were just like, not, it's fine if you have opinions, right? Like my issue is if you don't play at a high level but you have like opinions about how stuff should work, that's like totally chill. I would never bother me. The issue is those people, like, they do the like tribal thing where they'll be like a heroic or normal raider, which again, perfectly cool, no issue with that, but then they'll like see a talent build that someone's using in the highest possible key, like a 30, and it's like using a slightly different talent, and then some people will come in the Discord and be like, hey, why is this person running this talent? And it's not constructive conversation. It's just, oh, that guy's bad, don't listen to him.
Yes, this exactly happens in Ret. So a lot of the top Ret Mythic Plusers were using Final Reckoning. And in the Ret Discord, they're like, don't use Final Reckoning. It's bad. Just keep using Execution Sentence. Because in the Ret Discord, they don't like Final Reckoning. Just like they don't like Herald of the Sun. And so they're always going to tell you to use the other one, even if it's wrong. So it doesn't matter what content you're doing, but I would argue if you're doing easier content to still use Final Reckoning, because it's going to do more trash damage, which is probably going to up your overall damage, which is probably going to make you look better to your group, which is probably going to just be better for you overall.
To him, he's not a part of this group. Like, oh wait, that player's doing that? You saw a clip from this guy? No, dude, that's just wrong.
Yeah, a lot of people prefer Final Reckoning just as a playstyle as well, but it's actually just kind of better in dungeons. It is arguable, but especially if you're doing big polls, you know, the Ret Discord sees it as padding damage or whatever for whatever reason, but somebody in the group has to do the AoE damage.
Wrong. Like, clearly we have the math here. This is why you don't run this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just clown shit back in the day, but I don't know if that still happens, but I imagine that it's bound to happen in every WoW Discord that exists, basically, because here's the feedback loop, right? You run a Discord for information, and people constantly come in and asking you for information. That's why the whole pins thing exists, and that's why they get mad at people who don't check the pins, because they're literally tired of answering the same questions. Makes sense. They're there to support a community. What they're doing at the heart of what they're doing is a good thing. But then, if you're not part of the group, bro, and you're like a streamer for that class, and someone just clips you without even your...
Yeah, same. I do it at player as well. And, you know, and padding is fun too. Like, if you're not in a serious group, why would you not pad, right? Unless you are in a group with friends and they need you to do single target damage, you know, why would you not? I totally agree with that.
Your knowledge, like, literally someone comes in and asks you a question and you just answer them for the best of your knowledge, right? Like, this is what I think you should do. If it gets linked in that Discord, if you're someone who actively contributes to that Discord, even just being in there and just at least sometimes talking, the reaction will be totally fucking different than if you're not in there at all. If you're not in there at all, they resent every time someone posts a clip of you because you are now the source of information and not...
Excuse me. Hold on. Had some hot sauce go down the wrong side there. But this is exactly true. During Shadowlands, you know, kind of like my thing that got me going, like got me a lot of traction on Rat Paladin videos, is in Shadowlands, I was the only one that was correct on the Covenant. And I was in there in the Discord, and I was like, guys, I really think that, you know, I was trying to contribute. I was like, I really think that Kyrian's going to be better for Rat. And everyone just kind of shouted me down. Nope, it's going to be Ashen Hollow, LOL, it's Ashen Hollow. And, you know, I ended up being right about that. And it was very nerve-wracking to put that in my video. To, like, go against everybody. You know, go against all the theory crafters in the Discord and stuff. But, you know, I ended up being correct on that. But just getting shouted down like that because I was new there. Now, recently, I've seen people link my videos into the Rat Discord. And it get mostly positive feedback. So I think they know that, I think they know who I am, first of all, and then they also realize that I'm not just making crap up. So, you know, it's gotten a little bit better because some people know who I am now. But if no one knows who you are, it doesn't matter how right you are. They're just going to crap on you.
Them, and they are personally offended by that. I've seen this happen a lot. But if you're in there and you're part of the group, then it's like your knowledge and wisdom is accepted because you're just part of the group, you know? So, like, basically, best advice for any content creator, is if you are a content creator for a specific spec or class, just suck it up and get in that Discord. And just like have a little alarm on your phone, like every day at 3 p.m. just like type one thing, and your life will be so much easier because you just won't have to deal with like ego.
You know what? That might be a really good. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'll explain a little bit how I knew that. But maybe I should listen to Max here. Maybe I should just go in there. He said set an alarm at a certain time. Maybe I should just go in there every day and say something. So maybe that's a good advice. Just them, at least those people like maybe respect me just because I'm hanging out with them, kind of thing. That's because that's what he's getting at. That if you just hang out with them, then they'll respect you just because you're there, kind of thing. So maybe that's the play. Full of negative people, it would be much better for them if they would figure out how to. Yeah, I 100 agree with that too. MDS is tons of negativity and hate in there, and sometimes like. Just whatever. Like, I'm not a politically correct person, really, but sometimes some really nasty stuff's in there, too. Like, it's crazy. But yeah. But maybe I need to suck it up and go in there, though. Maybe that'd just be good for me on a personal level. I can deal with it. I get worse stuff on YouTube comments than I'll get in there, but... so the Kyrian thing. So, what happened there was, and the reason why I got it right, is because I do my testing, right? And I'm not, me testing on dummies and testing on mobs is not as good as running simulations. It isn't. That's true. But I am pretty good at it, and I'm pretty good at like parsing through data and like realizing flaws and like trying to account for them. Excuse me. And I was testing with the Kyrian, and I was testing with with Venthyr, and I'm like, and this is right off the bat, right off the rip. I'm like, wait a second. If the boss were to ever move out of your Ashen Hollow for even like 2 or 3 seconds, Kyrian would already be equal to Venthyr. Like, it was already really, really close. And I'm like, what is going on here? With everyone saying that Ashen Hollow is by far the best. Because I'm like, it's already close. And that's when I go in there and I start talking about it. But then I'm looking more into it. And I'm like, because I'm looking for content and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, let's look through the conduits, because I actually saw a video of saying like, upgrade your conduits as fast as you can when the expansion comes out. And I'm looking at the conduits for Kyrian, and what do I see? I see Ringing Clarity. So Ringing Clarity, of course, is the thing that is Divine Resonance now for our Divine Toll. And I see this thing, and I'm like, okay, that conduit's really good. Oh, and then I look up on Wowhead. It's max rank, and the max rank of it is insane. And it turns out, like, I didn't do this math, but it turns out it's like one of the strongest conduits in all of Shadowlands was Ringing Clarity. And so that conduit, I'm like, well, after 1 week of like Kieran's already about equal event theory. After 1 week and people get their conduits upgraded, it's going to be clearly better. And so I decided to full send it on my video and recommend it. Now, I did hedge myself, of course. I was nervous to go against, you know, all the other people. So I was like, you know, Venthyr is still pretty good. You can play Venthyr. But, you know, in my opinion, Kieran's going to be better after a couple weeks. And it'll be better for the rest of the patch unless there's tuning or something, right? Something along those lines. But it was really nerve-wracking to go against that. But it ended up paying dividends because I was correct, right? But it's rough because they're doing all these simulations, right, in the APIs and stuff, and I'm just hitting target dummies and, you know, collecting data my own way. But I was glad to be right there and kind of use some intuition as well as far as like seeing what the conduit is at max rank, even though you couldn't get the max rank conduit, I don't think, on the beta. Seeing what it was at max rank and understanding, hey, when this thing is max rank, it's going to be really good. I didn't know it was going to be like one of the best conduits in the whole game, but I did know it was going to be really, really good. So that was, and that Shadowlands also was when I kind of really got my footing and making guides and stuff. Before Shadowlands, I was just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it stuck.
Go Lord Discord mods, and it's just that every person this has happened to, it's always the same story. The smart ones are just in there, or if you truly don't care what these little rats are saying about you in a private channel of a Discord, and you can take all that slander, people constantly slandering you, then just don't worry about it. But like, if that's gonna bother you at all, just fucking man. Max,
yeah, I don't
so
mind
you're
it.
saying the player who plays this game as a tank in high end are more suitable for theory crafting, or their comments will be more accurate. So I guess there's two ways to answer your question. To answer your question generally, if you're getting tank advice from someone who's doing plus 30s versus someone who does heroic raids only and just does math for tanks, 100%, I would absolutely trust the opinion of the person doing plus 30s over that person every single day of the week, without question, yes. However, my issue isn't that. Whenever you talk to someone that actually knows what they're talking about as a theory crafter and you come up with an interesting or maybe differing take, the response is always, oh, that's interesting. Let me think about that. Or I've actually had that same thought before and I tested it out and tried these things, and here's why I don't think that's true. But it's never getting offended. Getting offended when someone brings up counter logic to what you're saying is like some straight up bitch shit. That's like you care so much about being right that you don't really care about finding the best thing. You just have to be right. And those people are just insufferable and horrendous to be around in the first place. That's the vibe that people hate. Not that someone couldn't be accurate or could be wrong. It's the issue is what often happens in that scenario is like the player with a lot of high practical experience is, in my experience, never has the response of like, no, that's not wrong. Like, don't listen to that person. No, it's always like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I haven't been doing that. I've been trying something else. Maybe I'll try that at some point, but I don't think it'll be good.
That's exactly my thoughts, right? Like when Ty was in here, he was the top rep paladin on Legion Remix before they like nerfed everything or like made it easier. And he was telling me about the Templar Slash thing. I didn't go, oh no, Templar Slash is bad. Why would you use that? You should use your retail build. I'm like, whoa, explain that to me. And he explained how it worked, how he thought it was working. He didn't actually know exactly how it worked. Now, granted, this was already known information. I just didn't know it myself. Like, it was already known to people. But I'm like, instead of just telling him he's wrong or no, or blowing him off, I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. Then I go in and use it. I'm like, okay, this is way better. And then, you know, I'm like, well, I'm going to push for the, now that I know how easy these dungeons can be, I'm going to push for it. And, you know, that's how you should react, right? Like, I'm not going to sit there. If somebody tells me something, even if it's against what I'm saying, if they have good logic and stuff, I'm going to be like, hey, you know, that sounds like a good idea. Or let me see how that's working. Like, that's interesting.
That's a totally different response than someone who's like extremely upset that they're not the person who's considered to be right. The problem with tank theory crafting is that they rely heavily on perfect play, which will literally never happen, such as not running cheat death. Yeah, I mean, where all this started is Ben and I were playing cheat death trinkets and Nighthold. We were world 5th. We weren't going for world 1st at that time. And yeah, we just Ben and I saw screenshots of, I believe, specifically the Blood Decay Discord.
Yeah, there's a lot of this as well. So they don't value survival and stuff very much, and a lot of them don't do mechanics for their guild. So what you'll find for a lot of the people in the Ret Discord, not all of them by the way, but for a good number of them, is they're like the main character of their guilds. And so a lot of them are like getting PI, they're getting like external buffs, they were getting like Aug Evoker buffs, and they are not doing any mechanics at all. They're just standing on the boss the whole time. And then they're telling everyone how good they are, look at my parse and stuff like that. You know, that's not really how you play the game. So in my guides, I do try to factor in like, hey, the reality is you're probably not going to get to do this, so just do this instead. You know, I try to factor that in because in my guild I always had to do mechanics just by necessity. So it's important to factor that in. And what he's saying with the cheat death thing, it's like, yeah, obviously you would like to do more damage, but you also don't want to die and wipe. So that's important too. And, you know, simulations don't factor that in.
Saying both of us were bad, and the reason was because we were running cheat death trinkets. Someone asked, why are these guys running cheat death trinkets? And the response was, well, because both of them are very good. It's like, okay. Like, they've never played with us at all, by the way. They've literally no idea. Private logs, we didn't even stream at the time. Just completely fucking making it up. It's just like, okay. That's the people. Those are the people who are in these Discords. As if mistakes don't happen and you'd rather not waste an entire pull, which can be prevented by wearing a goddamn trinket. Dude, wearing a cheat death trinket and having one tank wipe per night, even one, where you lose a death and it cascades into a wipe or something because you're not running a cheat death trinket, that happening one time outweighs you doing more damage as a tank with a second trinket.
Yep.
And
I agree.
It's not close. It's not even close.
I agree.
It's like personal.
We actually, and this is no shade to them or whatever, but we had a tank for a while in the guild, and he would always just try to parse and do the most damage. He was probably in those Discords doing that, and it cost us a lot of time. I was very annoyed by it. You know, I think I've expressed that to him before, but in at least a passive aggressive way. But I was very annoyed that we would be wasting pulls so our tank could try to do more damage. That was not fun. Not a fun time.
It's just idiots, man. It's people that don't understand like risk reward. It doesn't like you just simply do not understand the fundamental concept of risk versus reward if you're running a non-cheat death trinket as a tank in certain tiers, right? Because the reward is almost nothing and the risk is very high. It's just a bad decision. But those people don't think about that. They just think about having a good parse. You just need to kill the boss one time. Who cares about our guild's progression, you know? Which again, that can be your motivation, I guess. Like, I've known plenty of people who've played WoW that didn't really care about the guild success. They just really wanted to play well. I'm like that in hockey. I play hockey every night of the week, and I care way more about how well I played and I made good decisions and what I was working on translated to a game.
See, I'm always about winning. So, like, no matter what I'm doing, I used to play a lot of pickup basketball when I was younger. I would always try to win. I didn't care if I wasn't scoring. I'm always trying to win. I'm always trying to kill the boss. I'm always trying to time the dungeon. I'm always trying to win. It's a competitive thing, and maybe even unhealthy at times, but I'm always trying to win. So it always bothers me when people put themselves over the group or themselves over the whole, because I don't do that personally. Like if things were going really bad, maybe like getting absolutely blown out or destroyed in basketball, let's say, like maybe then I would just start shooting a bunch or something, and like whatever, just not caring. But it would have to be because it's not really winnable kind of thing, or that it would take me doing a heroic thing to win.
Then our team winning every time, right? That's all I care about. I mean, obviously you want to win as a team, but like I really care about that because I really care about self-improvement stuff. So like someone could absolutely be like that in WoW. Like, yeah, we'll kill this boss. I don't care if we get killed a little later, but I want to perform as well as I want to perform on the kill. Like that's my thing. I think that's.
We also just had multiple people like this in the guild as well. It was very rough. It was fine. You can have one or two people like that in your guild group. It's not a big deal. But when you start to have like 5 or 6 in your raid team, ooh, that becomes rough because none of them want to do mechanics. All of them will complain when doing mechanics. It becomes rough when you have too many of those in your guild. And a lot of times they're very good players. They will put up a really good number. they will, when they have to do a mechanic, they'll do the mechanic right, like a forced mechanic. But like they're not going to be trying to do anything extra, and that's rough when you compound that too many times. If you have one or two, especially one, but even two maybe, you can get away with it. But when you get above that, it just cascades. When you have 5, you might as well have 15. Like it's rough.
It's natural, and I think that's pretty common. I think that another reason it bothers me is just because it's so basic. You've seen it happen every other time. Like if you post in that Discord, if someone says, "Why is this person running a cheat death trinket?" and you're in there and you're just like, "I don't know, man. It just seems like it's worth to never have a tank death, and I also play better knowing I have that in my back pocket, and I feel like we have a higher guild success chance." People just be like, "All right," but if you're not there, it's your dog shit.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you just don't type is enough for people to like. The fact that their answer would change so much if they just heard you speak one time, but they would just immediately like, "Nah, they're fucking ass, bro. Ass. Childish." I argued versus optimal versus consistent play in the Mistweaver Discord, and a couple of the people just couldn't wrap their head around it. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, realistically, we're talking to theory crafters here, right? Like, isn't the thing that theory crafters kind of get their rocks off on is how much you could potentially do by min-maxing something? Like, that's what their job is. Their job is to do that, right? Their job is to find every single possible thing you can do to gain damage. So in a way, it kind of, just by nature of how they are as people, you are going to always lean more towards the optimal versus.
Oh, that's rough, MDS. So they're just worried about their damage. Yeah, we had a tank just like that before. Probably multiple, but one that comes to mind pretty strongly. It's not fun, man. And people, a lot of times, at least in my experience, people will tell them like, "Hey, we're not worried about your damage. Can you just stay alive? Can you just play better?" And they don't care. They'll just keep doing it. That's been my experience, not just with one person, with pretty much everybody who plays like that. You know, we actually had somebody on Sarkrath, one person who normally likes to just focus on their parse, actually completely tanked their parse to stay alive. And like I gave them so much credit for that because I'd never seen that before. Usually one of those parse people, they will never do what's right for the group. But he actually did, and honestly that was like really cool to see because I'd never seen it before.
The consistent, because being consistent doesn't interest them. What made them... People don't become theory crafters out of nowhere, right? They do it because they are obsessed with finding the best possible thing, right? So convincing those people that you could be making a play for consistency versus optimal stuff, doesn't it kind of make sense that they're going to have an aversion to that, or at least still try to biased argue the other way? Also, can't really put a number on survivability. Yeah. I mean, WoW is so much... Yeah, there's no player ratings in WoW. There's truly no idea how good someone is until you play with them, and then it's like extremely obvious.
What I used to do is I used to actually put I used to give, so in I don't have it here on Classic, but in one of the add-ons that like was for tracking like item level on gear and stuff like that. I can't remember what it's called now, but you could put in values and like stat weights and stuff like that into it before, you know, back when people use stat weights more reliably. And I would actually give stamina a stat weight. I'd give it something really small, just like some number, because stamina has some value. Staying alive has some value. And I always want to remember that.
Yes, because it's all put into relative perspective.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good video by Max. I totally agree with that. That's not surprising. I think a lot of people who are number one competitive and number two like kind of like good at stuff would probably have the same opinion as him. Unless of course there's competitive people and are good at that have the exact opposite opinion, so maybe not. But I would say that they're a different type of good. They're not good in the same way. Like they're not good at everything. They're just good at getting the most damage. They're not good at everything that leads up to that. Yeah, that was a good video. I'm glad I watched it. It is an interesting point what he was saying about maybe just going in there though, because I was thinking about it from like a creator standpoint. He was saying because he doesn't want people making fun of him, which I don't care about that. I care more about, you know, if those people would come and watch all my videos and click like on all my videos, that would be a lot better for me. So maybe I should just like pop my head in every now and then. But like none of like the top Mythic Plusers stay in there very much either. They like nobody wants to go in there really. It's just rough. Let's get this back on. We're going to I talked to my wife while I was getting my food. We're going to like this we went to it before. It's like a Christmas light thing that they do here locally. And it's actually a really good deal because a lot of places, especially if you live in bigger cities, they'll charge like a lot of money for this, but they only charge $5 for you to drive through this big light display that they do. It's actually really that's like $5 for your whole car. Like that's like nothing, right? Like that's a sandwich or something. That's kind of crazy. And it's pretty nice too. If it's like last time. Like they do a good job setting everything up. It's like a whole we have like I live in a rural area. So we have like fairgrounds and stuff. Like if you know what like a county fair is or something. And they basically decorate the fairgrounds and then you just drive through it and there's all kinds of inflatables and stuff. I live in Ohio. Yeah, I think that stuff's cool. We drive around our town too a little bit. There's a lot of Christmas enjoyers, so. Well, this is nice, centralized. Everything's all done in one spot. They also do a really, like really nice light display at the zoo but it's like an hour from our house, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to go up there. And we normally have a zoo pass. I think our zoo pass expired, so it's like doesn't cost anything extra, but it's an hour to go up there. It's just rough. Hour there, hour back. With kids, it's a whole thing. But it's very nice. It's probably like one of the best in the country. It's very, very nice. Ghostoplasms. If you place one between two big skeletons, then ghosts will wander to it. Take out the ghost and get their plasma. Okay. You know, you said Seattle. Hopefully your family or whoever's up okay up there. I heard it got really windy. In Washington. Yeah, I heard about that. By the time that got to me, it was still terrible. It was not fun, but it wasn't nearly as bad. By the time I got across the country, it was down to like 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds. By the time it got here, with like 50 gusts, but I know it got way worse over there. I track the weather a lot. I'm like a big worrier about weather. Got what they call weather anxiety. Fog is man-made. Trouble here because it rains a week, then there's a big high wind event. Around here, I've rooted muddy, soft ground. They tear out the wind easily. Yeah. Here, the biggest thing we have here is branches falling and stuff like that. Yeah. So like, I've had the power line ripped out of my house twice since I've lived here. That's part of my weather anxiety. All right. But I can't let this comment go. Fog is man-made? There's people that think fog is man-made? I didn't even know this. Like, just regular fog? Or are you talking about, like, people that think, like, chemtrails and stuff? Just regular fog? I think that's ridiculous because I live in a rural area that gets fog for the very normal reasons. So I know that there is regular fog for sure. Now, are they spraying stuff in cities or something? I don't know. But it's the new flat earthers. Yeah, where I live, we get normal fog. I can 100% say. And it's very obvious to tell when you're going to get fog because of the weather. Are they spraying some cities? For all I know, sure. I don't know. I don't go to those cities. Flat Earth is a weird one for me. I looked into Flat Earth when I was a teenager. I'm like, oh, what's this all about? But I couldn't get there. I don't know what they're seeing that I'm not seeing, but I think they just kind of distrust, you know, institutions, which I do too. Which is why I'm willing to like look into things, but you can't get too over the top with it. I saw some guy was offering he's like a billionaire and he was offering his company if anybody finds the edge of the earth or whatever or something, like as a challenge to flat earthers. Where am I supposed to put this thing? It says between two giant skeletons. I mean, this is definitely between them. What the flat earth people need to do, if they want to be taken even remotely seriously, is they need to start explaining the southern hemisphere, because a lot of their stuff falls apart in the southern hemisphere, because it's very the flat earth theory is very northern hemisphere centered. Okay, I need to look up this quest or something. Ghostoplasm Roundup. The ghost. Where do I go? 6491. Okay. Wait, 6491. Oh, I need to go way down there. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay, I would have been around here forever. But yeah, I'm not someone I'm pretty distrustful of institutions and stuff myself. But I don't just believe stuff just to believe it. The Reshireps, the upgrades are account bound, I believe. I'm trying to remember. But you have to do the initial quest line or whatever to get them. I want to say, because I got them on my alt with my son, and I want to say we just did the quest line, then we were able to upgrade it. Like, not even the whole, like, we just have to go there, and you just have to get your cloak and then go there, and then, like, you can upgrade it, I think. Those things do a lot of damage, though. It'll be like your, like a top 7 damage or something. If you get good procs. Oh, so I need to go down. Oh, I remember this quest now. There's a big skeleton in here. I remember. I just remembered I have a mount. I probably should use that. I do remember this quest now. Cooking up some homemade chicken. Chicken tendies. Sounds good to me. I had I was like leaning down really hard when I was eating and watching that video. But we had eggs and bacon and cheese burritos. Pretty good. I loaded mine up with some hot sauce. That's what went down the wrong pipe earlier. Do, 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 do. We've got a whole half of a level today, by the way, in like 3 hours. It's crazy. Classic is nuts. Ultimate took a long time, though. Oh, these things are not hostile. I could probably AoE these down. Oh, one of them just went hostile. So they're not hostile until they are. Let's try to AoE pull. They're just gonna keep casting curse. I'll have to just do it when they're dead. I need to loot these. If I remember right, these can disappear. Then you lose your ghost plasm. Should be enough. I need to kill a bunch of demons and stuff. And Alpha listens to Roblox songs like we listen to Halo, like listen to Halo songs. Need that. I do need this. I think this thing's mana burn or something. It is a mage hunter. I think there's a quest to kill these things. Maybe not. Wait. Doom Warders don't drop Doom Warder blood? That's weird. Why would the Doom Warder not drop his own blood? Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. I got a lot of comments to go through on my latest video. Oh, let's run away from you. About the guild, about the raids. I got a lot of interaction on that. They've been mostly positive, so we'll go through them all until we get to a negative one. Oh, there's a guy there. See if we can sheep him. Did that aggro him? No. Keep it moving. Lord Azrathok. Azrathok? Azrathot. Azeroth. Can you skin these? You can. Yeah, I really need you to leave because I don't want to fight you. We might just have to reset. It's like he aggroed to it, but he won't actually run at me. Just leave. We left combat. Let's see if this Doom Warder gives us blood. If so, then Questy's wrong. That one didn't. But they have to. Oh, the captain. Do you have to kill captains, maybe? Nether wings. How do I get nether wings? Oh, the succubus. Crossbolt. That's my thing. So I probably, back in the day, I probably sat and killed the wrong ones. Because I used to not use Questy. And I probably never got the Doom Water Blood fast enough. That one just randomly didn't cast. This is such cool artwork. I hope this is for a quest or something. This is cool. I think back in a vanilla when I did this stuff, I think my buddy was a warlock, and I think maybe he had a warlock quest here. And so a lot of the stuff I'm remembering is what he had to kill for his warlock quest, maybe. Oh, halfway done. So this one won't drop his blood. Do you have a video or a screenshot of the best in slot gear and talents you're using for remix right now? I do have a video, but you would have to change Templar Crusading Strike auto attack to Templar Slash. So in, I think, any of my achievement videos, I show the talents. And then I also just did like a regular video. It's basically retail if you know the retail talents. But you just want to switch Crusader Strike auto attack with Templar Strikes. And you want to use the top talent row on the weapon for sustained damage. If it's literally burst, like you are, like if you're doing the raids or something, right, and you're trying to do more damage, then you might still want to use the Infernal, the second talent row down on the weapon. But if you're just going for sustained damage, it's the top one, the nature one, whatever it's called. It has like, yeah, it's like nature and pets and stuff. Yep, so that's for burst, and even in raid, because like you've probably noticed when you join a raid group, sometimes the bosses die basically instantly. So it's actually better to summon your thing and just blow it up, fell spike it on the boss if you care. I just pretty much just stay with the sustained damage no matter what, but you'll never really be top on a boss if other people know what they're doing, because all of our damage is in that Templar Slash tick, and the boss will die too fast before it gets a lot of ticks. If the fight lasts a little longer, then you could possibly get up to the top. Yeah, it doesn't matter for the raids. 100%. But yeah, I just pretty much roll around with a Mythic Plus build from retail, and now with the Crusader Strikes swapped for Templar Slash, Templar Strikes, whatever. When I wasn't playing Templar Slash before I knew the tech, I actually had a weird build where I was using the Judge, Jury, Executioner, which is a talent in the middle right of your talent tree, which makes your single target, your final verdict, hit cleave, basically. It's a very bad talent overall, but it was the only way I could kill stuff because I wasn't doing enough DPS, was by single targeting, so it's like some weird tech I use, but it's not good. I wouldn't do it, but I would just use Templar Slash. Big shout out to Ty. He was in the stream one day, and when I first started streaming, and he told me that. That's an interesting thing, MDS. So I've always said to not drop it, but yeah, what if it was after a certain amount of time it drops? That could be cool. I think just dropping it full time, like for everything, would be bad. But maybe dropping it after a certain amount of time could be good. Like after Hall of Fame fills or something. That could get more people to try it, especially those heroic guilds. Yeah, that's true too. You lose players, you could still raid. That'd be pretty cool. I actually like that idea because it's a compromise. I always think in WoW we have a lack of compromise. A lot of people believe what they believe and they don't want to compromise on it. Because I do think you need to have 20 for Mythic Raid, because of how many different specs and classes there are, so everyone can get a chance to play. But once you're further into the season, who cares? That's the other argument. It's actually a good idea. Like, you release a big set of nerfs, and then you also make it 10-man or something. 10-manable or scaled. The problem is they don't, when they scale, make stuff for scaling, they have to, like, change how mechanics work. So they would have to, it would just be a design thing. They would have to make sure that the design of the mechanics allows for a smaller raid size. So I have an interesting story about that. In Legion, before I joined my Mythic guild, I was co-leading a friend / some people on that we met in the game guild, and we basically, most nights we only had like 12 people, so we were basically like a 10 to 12 man heroic raiding team, and it was really fun actually. But Halls of Valor came out. So not Halls of Valor, Trial of Valor, the raid came out, and Odin, the first boss in there, so back to Legion Remix as well, the first boss in there, he summons these tornadoes, right? And or puts a debuff on you that summons a tornado. Well, they did not fix the fight, or they did not design the fight to scale the amount of tornadoes with the amount of players you had. So we had 10 people in there, and you have 2 tanks. 3 of our players at all times had tornadoes. And then you have 2 healers, right? So you have 2 tanks, 2 healers, and then you have 6 DPS. That's like the standard setup for like 10-man. And we basically only had 3 DPS at any time, and it was basically unkillable unless we completely outgeared it and we could, like, you know, whatever. But at the time it was unkillable because we couldn't do that. So you do have to make sure when you make stuff for scaling that you make the mechanics work for it as well, which is just something they would have to do from a design standpoint. It's more work for them, which makes me think they wouldn't do it, but I do actually think it's a good idea. I love the SOD version of raiding at the end. They tuned Nax and Scarlet Raid for 20 people, and all parsing only counted in 20-man, but you could raid them with 40 people if you wanted and just smash. Yeah, I saw people doing that. That's cool too. I mean, that's an interesting thing too. Like, the parses only count for a certain amount, or like maybe like in retail, right? Maybe achievements only account if you do it with 20, but you can do it with 10, and heck, maybe you can even sneak in extra people or something, right? Like, who knows? But that's a smart way to think about it too, is that the achievements or the parses only count for the standard size, so that way all the people that like get something special out of it can still feel special, and other people can do it on an easier mode, but they're still getting to do the same thing, the same content, just in slightly easier fashion. A lot of good ideas. Like, if we could 10-man Mythic raid, my guild would still probably be doing it, because I guarantee we had at least 10 of us that wanted to keep doing it. These spawns are brutal here. Oh, there's one. I'm glad my video is getting pretty good reception. I was worried, and there is some of it going on, that it would turn into like a I hate the race world first thing, and there is some of that going on, but it's mostly staying positive, and like people telling their stories of their experience. I wish I would have continued playing SOD, honestly. But those middle sections, what really killed me was the one where whatever phase it was with Sunken Temple, or I don't know if that was what it was. But man, there was one phase that was really rough, and I did not have fun. And then I kind of lost my luster there. I liked the first two phases, so it must have been like the third phase. Dang, I think I got the Doom Order. Oh, I got this one. I watched Zaryu play a little bit, and it looked so cool. Like, I think that's kind of what Classic Plus should probably be. It's like that. Two more. Oh, there's one. Hold on. Let's get the tag. Come on. One more. It's got to steal one tag. I'll at least almost have gotten Desolace done. We're not going to finish Desolace today because we're not going to get Khan and get me out of here, but... Yeah, I was a little jealous I didn't continue playing SOD. It was hard, too, because I had a weird thing with my guild. I mentioned it before, but we played BFD together, and then we were playing Nomer together, but the problem was we had actually gotten so much interest that we had too many people. And some people were getting their real-life friends into WoW for the first time. And I could have been like, hey, can I sneak in or whatever? But, like, I was more like, let those people play. I have other stuff I can do. And because of that, like, I didn't join a new guild or anything, and I just kind of fell off. That's something I gotta get better at, is just like joining a guild. I had fun in Wrath joining a guild. Like I always like joining a guild. I don't know why I just don't do it. That's what I need. I need to get into like a solid guild, a good environment, makes it fun to be there. Ooh, last tag right here. Might. Sweet. Start trekking around, turning this stuff in. Yeah, I'm still debating because like right now I feel like I'm too busy to actually sign up to Mythic Raid, especially because the reality is that most Mythic guilds require like 3 or 4 nights a week, which I really wouldn't be able to do, unfortunately. And so if I joined one of those, I'd have to be like a bench. Yeah, I wish more people would give retail a chance, because retail is actually really good. I'm not even biased saying it; it's just really good. But you do have to join a guild. You do have to do everything. But if like you already have a guild, it's like you should try it. It's fun. Like that's what I would tell them. Yeah. What worked for me is that we did it 2 nights a week. So we had, if you are a cutting edge guild and you're only doing 2 nights a week, you have at least some really good players in your guild, and we always have. You know, I consider myself to be one, but we've always had like 5 to 10 really good players, like players who could join Hall of Fame guilds, players who could maybe do Race to World first. That we've had some really good players in our guild, and that allowed us to be 2 nights a week. But you know, to join a guild, it's hard. There's other 2 night a week guilds, but it's very hard to get into them. It was very hard to get into our guild. We would get, I don't know, multiple applications every week for our guild. It wasn't that we couldn't find people, is that it's a lot of the applications are low quality, frankly, but it's like, I would love to Mythic Raid, but I would want to come off the bench and be like, oh, here's your cutting edge that you just get. Like, I don't even care if I don't get the mount, whatever. Like, I would love to just do it still, without having to commit everything to it, which isn't fair either to everyone else. I don't really want to sign up for like an AOTC guild, because I don't really want to struggle in Heroic either. Like, oh, I gotta go to Raid Night and not kill this boss on Heroic. Like, that's rough for me. You know, you have 13 cutting edges and you're like, oh, I gotta go wipe on Heroic all night. That's not fun. It'd be like if you did, you know, plus 20 something keystones and you're wiping in plus 6s or something, or plus 10s, and that's not fun. But I would love to. But I also would love to join a TBC guild, honestly. I didn't get to raid in TBC because I was just too busy when TBC came out, and I got a little bit behind, and I was just like, whatever. Like, I was already max level. I was starting to farm my gear up, and I would like to raid in TBC, though. So I'd want to find a guild there. It's also, I've mentioned before, it's easier to stream Classic too. So even if I was mostly playing retail, I could, and making like guides for retail, I could stream Classic. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit at the top of the video, at the top of the stream, about that post nerf thing, because I had watched S-Fan talk about it a lot. I'll give you the TLDR. I basically think, so my opinion is that I think the people who are worried about it, like S-Fan, are a little bit over-indexing it, because he's gonna think it's easy no matter what. Because he's already done it. He knows all the, he knows everything. Most people are going to think it's easy no matter what. But I remember watching, like, and I don't know if it was post-nerf or pre-nerf, but in 2019, I was flipping through all the different people streaming Classic, or TVC Classic when it came out. And I, wound up on Asmongold's channel, and he's trying to clear it with his chat, and they cannot kill these bosses. Even with him, like, telling people what to do and stuff, and it was rough. So, I don't know. It's like, who's it for? And that's like my video, right? Who are these raids for? Is it for S-Fan? S-Fan is like the equivalent of like a Hall of Fame retail raider for TVC, right? Like, for that era. So is it for him? Or is it for the 40-year-old dad who wants to drink a beer with his buddies and relive, 16 years ago? That would feel amazing. I don't think we killed Vash before nerf back in the day. I actually did raid a decent amount in BC. I know we never killed Vash, and we never killed Kel'Thas. We were progging on both of them. Back in 2007 or whatever, 2008. I remember thinking Lady Vash was such a crazy fight, which it kind of was pre-nerf. I gotta take that to Ironforge. Actually, I think we'll just go to the inn. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about this week and Christmas and stuff before I go offline. So obviously tomorrow, Tuesday, I was already not streaming. So Christmas Eve is Wednesday. I'll probably be live Christmas Eve. Obviously, if no one's here, that's fine. You guys go be with your families and stuff. But Christmas, I'm not sure about. I might. It would be, maybe I'd start later if I did. I'm not sure though what we're doing. I also don't know what days we're going and seeing other people. So it'll be in the air, but I'm gonna try to stay pretty regular. Mostly because, even if it's not you guys, if somebody doesn't have anybody to hang out with or whatever, it's cool to be live and people have someone to talk to or something on Christmas. But yeah, tentatively, I'm gonna try to stay pretty regular this week, and as much as I can, and if I'm absolutely not going to go live, like on Christmas, I would like post something about it, because if we're going to like families' houses and stuff, I don't know if we are doing that on Christmas though, so I have to figure that out. So sometime in the next 2 days, I'll probably post about it. But yeah, the plan is to be fairly regular, but of course, obviously I might not see some of you guys. So I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holiday. If you don't celebrate, I hope you have a good time or a good week anyways, despite not celebrating. But I'm a big Christmas guy. So this is a very good week for me, a very fun week for me. I love seeing my kids open their presents and stuff like that. So we're going to call it a little bit early because this is just a good time to call it. And I want to talk about the Christmas stuff. And I don't want to run all the way down there just to come all the way back here. And I'm going to go see the Christmas lights. So with my kids and my wife. So thank you guys as always. MDS, of course, not even lurking, chatting today. We had Blink through, Mario through. We had, I thought we had other people. I thought we had one other person through, but I guess not. But either way, everyone who just stopped by or clicked like, as always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for not making me sit here by myself all day. That is great as someone new to this, and I will always be appreciative about that. So thank you guys so much for being there. If I see you guys next week, great. If not, hopefully see you, after Christmas or in the new year. And I will catch you guys later. Have a good Christmas. Merry Christmas, guys.